What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, back with Big Game of Small Talk podcast. Thank you guys for rocking out. How long's it been? Crap, many years now? 3 years?
Yeah, it's been probably 3 years or so. Yeah,
3 years, man. We've been rocking together, man, for 3 years, man. So thank you, like I said, for rocking out with us. All the brands that we create, all the spinoffs, all the motherfucking honeymoon episodes, whatever that we do, we appreciate it for rocking out with guys. Join the Discord. The group is growing over there. You guys already in the Discord?
Yeah, I'm in there.
Swing by the website. Shout out to Jay Williams. Did a marvelous job on the BGST, the website. Check out the blogs, the forums. You know what I mean? Post some shit there. Like I said, I have a few multi-plat games. Mafia 3. I even have an extra Ghost Recon. A few games that I have digitally the code. So once a month, or I'm going to be giving away some of those codes to the most active users on the site. Just a way of me saying thank you for rocking out with us. So getting where we have a list of things we want to talk about today. Which one to tackle first, Crap?
Hey, well, let me see here. What the hell do we got here? We've got there is a lot of cool shit to talk about. We can talk about this this PS4 Pro Slim deal.
Talk about
kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. Let's talk about it. Okay, so it looks like that this thing's actually in production, and a lot of people are like, well, why would they do that crap? And I'm like, well, for one thing, it's going to be a slimmer Pro. It's not going to be a slim. It's going to be a slimmer Pro, probably, so they can do a cheaper version. I would assume probably $350. You know what I mean?
This is what they're going to do. You can take it to the bank. You already heard, but what Sony's going to do, they're going to maybe even make it look a little bit, I guess, a little better than what it already looks. And they're going to include the 4K Blu-ray player. You know what I mean?
I don't think they're going to do a 4K Blu-ray. I don't think they're doing that.
It's $10. They have to. No, why? Because
I don't think they will. Because you know why? I can tell you right now why they won't. Is because the people that would have already bought the Pro would feel completely screwed. You know what I mean? Like I mean, you could, and it would be very like, it'd be odd, right? Because you would have these 3 different versions, maybe 4 different versions of PS4.
They're doing away with the one that they sell off what they have. But hear me out. This is what I say that because you have
go ahead.
You have the Scorpio coming out in November. Let's say a week before Black Friday, normally when Microsoft launches their hardware. And for shits and gigs, like it's going to be a 4K Blu-ray player, 4K native, and Microsoft is going to be hyping that up this holiday season. You know what I mean? And there's no way that the Pro, even though it is a very capable console, can match the Scorpio. You know what I mean? Say the Scorpio is going to be $500. Say a minimum $500. You're going to have the Pro at $400, and Sony's going to come out and say, you know what? They're starting now. It's not that big of a deal between 4K native and 4K checkerboarding. And guess what? We also have a 4K Blu-ray player. You know what I mean? That's like I said today. While they would, like I said, it's only a $10 more. I don't know what they would pay, but that chip is only like $10 to add and include.
I still think I still think they don't give a shit about the 4K Blu-ray player because they've already said they've already said that their quote unquote users don't care about that. But imagine them getting a $299 PS4 Pro out there.
They don't have a incentive to cut it that much because it's still selling.
The Pro's not selling that well. I mean, let's be honest. It's 200K in Japan, which is probably their second biggest market or third biggest market. That's not very good. Because I think what they hit 4 or 6 million consoles overall over there. That's a lot of consoles for Japan, considering. But considering how like they don't really do the whole console thing that well anymore. So only 200,000 of those are actually the Pro. So if you look at it, I just think that they've already changed the narrative with that checkerboarding. You know what? I'm an old school gamer. How old school am I? I'm old school enough to remember when checkerboarding was a bad thing. So about a year ago, you know what I mean? Like let's just, I got next gen to laugh. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So anyway, like the Pro, the checkerboard thing is already out there. People love it. They're checkerboarding. It's the greatest thing ever. Like even PC gamers are talking about checkerboarding now. So everybody's all hyped up on this checkerboard nonsense. Like,
okay,
man, I wish upscaling was that popular back when the Xbox One launched. Right. It'd be a different story now. But I mean, look, they're trying to beat the Scorpio on a price point, right? They're going to say
they're going to do that regardless.
You can get checkerboarding for $150 to $200 less, right? And that would work because let's be honest, Sony has that brand loyalty, like stupid, blind, idiotic, retarded brand loyalty that people just will buy that damn thing because it says Sony PlayStation.
Nintendo Switch, but okay, I'm listening to you.
Right? Whoa. Oh, Nintendo Switch, man, that thing's a beast. And we are talking about that. 20 million. They're shipping 20 million this year. 20 million.
It's shipping or manufacturing, man.
Oh my God. Okay, check it out.
20 million. They're shipping 20 million this year.
All right, I said this.
But I digress. Let's hop. We'll talk about the Switch in a little bit. Back to the PS4 Pro because we'll go all over the fucking place. So we'll be all over the place. But I'm saying that the Pro, is they're looking to beat the Scorpio at a price point. They're looking to say, hey, there's not that big a difference between checkerboarding and native, and it's $200 less. That's what they're trying to do.
But it's gonna be. Here's what I'm let me go. This what I'm saying. It's already going to beat the Scorpio for its price point. It's not the price, believe it or not, crap that the Scorpio is not selling. I'm saying the Scorpio, the Pro is not really taking off because, let's be honest, people who really listen, take resolution out of the equation. Like I have one of them. It's not that big of a deal. I say, it's not eye-popping comparing them side by side, you know what I mean, to the casuals, you know what I mean? So it's not the fact that it's only $400, you know what I mean? But $400, guess what? And now you have a 4K Blu-ray player. You know Sony can spend that shit. They're good at doing that. You know what I mean? Like I said the other day, that's the only way that the the Pro will probably, you know what I mean, can compete to me, like I said, with the Scorpio. Because here you got the Scorpio coming out 4K native, 4K Blu-ray player. You know what I mean? And you have the Pro $400.
You know what? I just don't get the feeling that Microsoft cares about selling their consoles. That I don't think they hate selling consoles. I just think they don't, and I think they're in it to the long haul for consoles and gaming. I just don't think they give a shit about how many consoles they sell. I honestly think it's all about their engagement and people using Xbox Live and their services and buying their software and using it on. Yeah, I think that's what they care about. Honestly, if you look at things, the Switch is more expensive than the Xbox One right now, and the Xbox One comes with games, right? But the Switch is going to sell more. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think Microsoft gives two shits about selling their consoles. I think they're more worried about
how much is the Xbox One S now? One is $300.
Well, it's right now it's $249 with games. Two free games.
$250 with a game?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing right here that I said this last year.
Okay.
I said this last year. I said the PlayStation had to do something in order to combat with the Scorpio, and I said that they were going to try to come with maybe a more powerful PlayStation Pro or somewhere around that. And this was right before the Pro came out. Y'all thought I was bugging. I knew it had to happen, and now they're going to try to sell this point with this new Pro with God of War because it looks like it's going to be a thing. And so, and to combat. I don't care what game you got out there. No game is going to ever beat a new piece of hardware. But the fact of you coming out with a new Pro, and if it's still staying the same or just slightly better, it's still killing its own. It's eating their own. People are going to still feel abandoned for the mere fact that they've spent money on this product just last year, and they spent what, $400, $450, somewhere around there, and then they got to go around, and then there's a cheaper version. People are going to be pissed.
Yo, Mega, this whole like rumor about a Slim Pro, it's just a Trojan horse. And the thing was when the Pro was announced and stuff like that, and I saw that there wasn't a UHD disc drive in it, I said that within a year's time that they're going to come out with another PlayStation 4, and the SKU it's going to have a UHD, and that's exactly what they're doing. You know, they weren't ready to come out with Sony's 4K, Blu-ray disc player until that time. So that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Let me just point out something though, real quick. All right, Microsoft announced their 4K Blu-ray player in August. Sony would have had plenty of time to, I guess, go back. And
I don't know if I gave you the paper scrap. The company that does the SoCs, the chips, they rendered the chip wasn't going to be ready until the end of the year, so it was going to miss, because Sony's actually 4K Blu-ray player didn't come out until the first quarter of 2017.
Yeah.
Well, I would assume that they're going to get tore up if they come out with another console with a 4K Blu-ray player. I mean, that does seem a bit confusing,
but
right?
Dude, they do no wrong. They do no wrong, though.
Yeah, I get that, but
look at their track record.
They got confetti shooting out the side of the PS4, and the fucking gaming media is going to say, "Yo, that is the greatest feature."
But listen, look at their track record. You know what I mean? Sony released the Slim in September, if I'm not mistaken, right? Then turned around and released the PSVR in October, and then released the Pro. What it was the end of first week of November, or
it was like in the middle of November. It was like the
middle of November. So you got the Slim, PSVR, and then the Pro. You know what I mean? So again, you gotta realize this: Sony has nothing to lose, everything to gain. This is their bread and butter. This is what's keeping the lights on. You know what I mean? So they don't mind going balls to walls when it comes to the PlayStation division. It's more profitable right now for them than their movie division, the music division.
Well, yeah, they're basically a console maker. That's it.
Remember, like I said, maybe about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was talking to Warrior. It's crazy as hell. And I was saying, like, I didn't understand how the PlayStation itself were outspinning and out hustling Microsoft in the gaming division. You know what I mean? You know, and I didn't understand how they did this, as far as marketing and all this stuff, like they were outspending them. You know what I mean? And like I said, this is keeping them afloat, whether it's hit or miss or whatever. And listen, and don't be surprised this either. What Sony's also going to do and rack up on, they're going to start pumping out these Steam consoles again this holiday season. Don't let them get, I don't know if they did get fucking Star Wars, the Battlefront or whatever.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, they got fucking Destiny 2. They've
got Call of Duty.
They've got Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you're gonna see these Steam consoles that come out like this holiday, which is gonna be big for them again. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's not the end of it. I mean, look, they seem to be a couple steps ahead of Microsoft when it comes to some things, especially with this, right? Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Microsoft was playing catch up the whole time. And so just when it feels like they're about to catch up and they're about to overtake them with the power narrative, now the narrative's on something else. It's on games. Unfortunately, it comes at a time when Sony comes out with, they have like these games that were delayed at last year and they come out at the beginning of this year. And so people like basically nut themselves for these fucking games that realistically only one of them anybody really cared about, which was Horizon Zero Dawn. So as far as I'm concerned, Microsoft is catching up. They're doing the right things, but by the time they catch them, Sony's going to have marketing rights. They're going to have Call of Duty. They're going to Assassin's Creed. That new one's coming out. They're going to Red Dead Redemption. I've heard Bloodborne 2. Like, I know that leak was kind of debunked as fake. Yes, but I've heard that Bloodborne 2 is a thing for a while now.
Oh, that's
I've heard that God of War is coming out this year as well to help combat Scorpio. So that's a hell of a thing. And Gran Turismo. So you're going to really realistically see.
Damn, so we got Gran Turismo, got the Uncharted DLC, and you got a God of War.
Yeah. It's not Uncharted DLC per se. They're saying it's a it's a game.
Yeah, it's a game.
Standalone game. So that's basically
$60.
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's included with the deal that I got because I have the collector's edition. So if you bought that or whatever, if you have the season pass, I think it's free. But otherwise, I think it'll probably be like $20 or $30.
But they're gonna sell it alone, so it's standalone. You can probably
it's like 6 or 8 hours or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's like you know what I mean. It's supposed to be. Sorry, Xbot man. I heard you trying to chime in.
It's all good, man. I still have to learn your cue to actually get in there. I'm just saying.
you just gotta bum rush his ass. I was about to
get a boss hog
his ass. Like, okay, shut the fuck up, crap.
Have you ever watched any type of nature documentary, like documentary or something? You can't bum rush a rhino. All right, you can't.
It's gonna be a bear against a rhino. We're gonna
albino rhino.
It's a bot. It's a bot versus a rhino. But anyway, isn't it funny how the narrative always fucking changes? Like in the beginning of the generation, they were talking about power, and Microsoft was putting out brand new IPs, exclusives like crazy year after year, right? Then you hit one little dead spot within Xbox, and there's rumors and stuff like that with Sony and games coming out this year, and then all of a sudden the narrative is switched over to games. Like, where was that narrative for this past 3 years?
Hey, I've been saying that all along. Let's look at the launch titles, right? Even big and small. PlayStation 4 launched with Resogun, Killzone, and Knack.
Yeah.
Microsoft, and then like 4 months later they did get Infamous, right? And then you look at what Microsoft launched with. It was like even some of the shittier small stuff, right? It was like Rise, Dead Rising 3, Forza Horizon, Rise, Dead Rising 3, Forza Motorsport 5, Zoo Tycoon, Killer Instinct, Max the Curse of Brotherhood, Crimson Dragon, Loco Cycle, Power Stone Golf. They also had a couple months later, they had Titanfall, which was huge.
Fantasia.
Yeah, they had Music Evolved. They had, yeah, I mean, they had Fighter with. I have both of them, so shut up.
Listen, Xbox launch was way better.
Yeah, but nobody was talking about that shit right there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Nobody was talking about any of that stuff. And within the first year, they had all that stuff I mentioned, plus Sunset Overdrive, plus Forza Horizon 2, plus the Halo Master Chief Collection, and nobody talks about any of that stuff. You know what I mean? It's always all about, yeah, exactly.
And then crap, what is the deal with people like, you know, Sony, everybody's talking games, like that whole fake Sony E3 leak or whatever. They're like, oh man, look at the games. When you look at Sony's track record the past 3 years, how many of their exclusives actually came out on time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, none. Not really any. Like
90% of them were delayed at least once.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so why are you putting I look at the track record when it goes down. It's good to see new games. No, it's good to see the titles and stuff like that. But when you look at the company and how bad they are at actually getting shit out on time, like why don't more people put that into their kind of like equation for this shit? Like,
well, as far as what? What are you saying? Like, as far as what? Like, why don't people slam?
Like, people are like guaranteeing, they're like, oh man, this game's coming, God of War this year and stuff like that. And it's like, well, if you look at Sony's track record, look at what they did with Drive Club, with Infamous. Like, you could go on and on with the titles of exclusives.
But you know what?
They're nervous about, but Sony's nervous about the Scorpio. That's the big difference. They know they're they may, you know, a lot of people may think that they're in separate corners, but a lot of these companies know what's coming. And they have to have a strong showing, or there's going to be a lot of people that's going to consider buying the Scorpio once they start seeing their multiplats look so much more better. So they have to come with the games. They have to be direct. God of War is going to come out this year. I have I'm not even debating it now. And the fact that they're going to also come with a different Pro, it shows that Sony is nervous. There's too many people. Look, there's been so many things that the Xbox has done through this generation, and there's been developers, there's been GameStop, there's been just other entities that's just shitted on it. Okay. The Scorpio, nobody except for the media and just fanboys have even said anything negative about the Scorpio. Everything from the industry has been highly positive, and that makes Sony very nervous.
And do another thing, if you don't mind, just real quick. When we talk about these third-party like deals and stuff like that, how funny is it going to be when Sony forked over money for these third-party deals and stuff like that? But then when the games come out on like the Scorpio and it's using the better textures and stuff like that from the PC version of the game, like how funny is it going to be that the game looks and runs that much better on the company's machine that didn't fork over the money for the advertising and shit.
It'll be funny, but you know what's going to happen? Because Sony, like when they do these deals, it's not simple deals like what Microsoft does where they show the logo at the end. Like Sony's deals are like insane. Like remember, Microsoft couldn't even mention that they had Destiny. They had a cologne, remember? And they even had to pull that. They're like Destiny cologne. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So they won't even be able to mention or show off these games on Scorpio at all. So it's basically.
Let me ask you a question, Crab.
It's up to us, basically.
Well, not even up to us. What I'm just saying is, I'm glad that you said this. I remember us. It was about 2 years ago. When did Witcher 3 come out? About 2 years, 2.5 years ago.
The Witcher came out 2015.
Okay, 15. The summer of 2015, right, or so, right?
Yeah.
And like Microsoft had the marketing rights for that. Which version did they show on Jimmy Fallon? Was it the PlayStation? Or was it?
It was the PC version, I think, or something.
Yeah,
but they lied and said it was on the Xbox.
Whatever the goddamn case may be. But all the major sites, whether the Eurogamers or the IGNs, when they were showing them playing it or whatever the case, they all had the PlayStation 4 version. You know, I remember us being pissed off about it, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't know how these contracts or deals are drawn up or whatever. Maybe I can ask around, find something. I never thought about it like that. But when it all comes down to, you know, what we all say in this script, Microsoft has to stop being so goddamn nice. You know what I mean? They got to go out there. It's not even so much set the narrative. They got to go out there, motherfucker, and throw their weight around. You know what I mean? And again, exclusives are important. I'm not going to say that exclusives are not important. If those games are coming out at the end of the year from Sony, Sony probably are going to have the better exclusive this holiday season. You got the God of War They got the Gran Turismo alone. That's going to be huge for them. And the Uncharted shit, which they're going to bump like it's a brand new game and it's exclusive.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. But again, as far as these multi-plats, like I said, multi-plats rule, Microsoft has to nail that shit home themselves. Hey, 4K native or whatever it's going to be. Take to the stage. You know what? 4K makes you a better goddamn gamer. All that shit that Sony was doing. You know what I mean? Something. You know what I mean? Like for real. You know what I mean?
Well, it's going to be hard because they aren't going to be able to really show off any of that stuff. So, like I said, it's going to whatever deals they have. Like they have a deal with the new Splinter Cell, so I guess that's going to be cool. Like a lot of people like Splinter Cell. Showing it off on Scorpio probably will be something pretty kick ass. There's lots of rumors going around of a Rise 2 now. I don't know if you guys saw that today. Yes. So I mean that could be something that would kick around.
Listen, that right there, crap, would be a fucking a shot in the arm of steroids.
That's a slam dunk.
Dunk. Well, if you look at it, like 4 years since the last one, it would be a good time. A lot of people. It didn't sell bad for a launch game. You know what happened? And in my video, I covered this. Rise was a product, and the whole launch lineup of Xbox One was a product of Xbox One hate still. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, look at it. No Forza game scored as low as Forza 5, and that game was great. Yes, it had some microtransactions, and it had some, it didn't have as much content, but that was because they were fixing that up. But then there's games. It still had more content than most other racers launched with new. You know what I mean? Like I think it had more cars at launch than what Gran Turismo Sportal had.
Oh, it killed it. It had twice as many more cars.
So it was really just a product of hate, and then people wanted to hate on Rise because they thought it was QTEs, but it wasn't even. You could miss those and you would still connect. You know what I mean? You just wouldn't string together your things. And then the funny thing was remember everybody hated QTEs for that game.
Yes.
And then loved them for the Order.
God of War, they love for God of War as well. Yeah, I mean that's God of War set the narrative for those type of button. I
thought it was nice. I didn't have a problem with that.
I never had a problem with it either. But it's just like just like with
why complain about one and not the other?
Yeah. It's just like War that sets the bar for the cover system. I mean, every game now uses the Gears of War cover system, and there's nothing wrong with that. The thing of it is that bothers me is that. Okay, just like the great Adam Sessler, he was one of the only people that gave Forza 5 a great score. He was saying, look, I'm not even into racers, but this game is well worth the buy. Go ahead and get it. They said that it was so bad that he just had to. He went to Rev Games, and then he said he just bowed out after he tried to give another Xbox game some love. It's been like this from the very beginning. I know that some people will say, well, the 360 was getting all the love and the support. Not like this. I mean, it's blatant. They will go after GDC was pro Xbox, and you didn't see anything or heard anything from any part of the media about GDC because it was positive for the Xbox. That shit right there is ridiculous. It's wrong all around the board, man.
Yeah, and me and Mega, we actually have the inside track of what happened with the Game Developers Conference, and it's ironically funny how since everything was so Scorpio heavy and Xbox heavy and developing on the Windows 10 platform, UWP, everything was Xbox, everything was Scorpio. The media was just like crickets. Like they were just looking off in other direction. Exactly. And we know people who went there, and that's all that they were talking about.
Showstopper, do hoof clickers.
Hoof clicking. No, I ain't feeling too good, bros. I just
man, he got that nasty woman.
Nasty woman. That Suge Avery don't hit me, man. That Suge Avery don't hit me, bro. Now they're messing with that girl, huh?
My man, show.
Pay too much, though.
Yeah, they got that funk going around, man. Because
wait, we gotta play. What's today's date? Today's date is what?
26.
We gotta play this in the lottery. Show showed up 2 weeks in a row to BGST.
Yeah. You know I had to come in and show some love, man.
He sounds like crap, man.
I am, man. I'm through. I was like, man, I said, let me stop in here and just say hi to everybody, man. But y'all don't think I just vanished.
No. I know. I mean, well, I guess we can swing back to the earlier topic to show we get your opinion. You're not gonna bring it too long. Rumors that Sony is releasing a slimmer version of their console, it most likely is going to be the PS4 Pro. I'm saying that they're going to, do that, maybe a new look and add a 4K Blu-ray player. That's what I'm saying. Crap said he doesn't think so. Like, what are your thoughts about it? You know what I mean?
So what they doing? They gonna smash the
Pro
triple.
They're gonna
peanut butter and jelly sandwich that they got.
Yeah, slimmer parts now.
Smashing it down. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what Sony. I guess that's what I feel like they have to do. I mean, I don't see a point of a Pro Slim right now. I just don't.
Cheaper
I don't
price.
even know if the Pro really doing. Is the Pro really doing all that well?
Not doing great. That's probably why they want to make it.
So what they doing? Add features that
I would say
in the
the 4K Blu-ray player. That's the reason why I say that. I'll tell you the reason why I say that, because you have the Scorpio coming out this holiday season, and like I said, the only way to really combat that, because they already past the 4K native and 4K checkerboard is not that big of a deal, but Microsoft 4K native, 4K Blu-ray player. And now Sony can probably do the same thing. You say for maybe because it still probably be $400, and the Scorpio say be about $500 or so. So for $400 left, you can get a 4K Blu-ray player, and you can get just something just as good as 4K. And that's what I'm saying. But what are your thoughts about that?
I still don't know if it's gonna compete with Scorpio. I really don't. I mean, they can do that if that's what they choose, and if Sony guys want to go out and buy another console. They don't bought a couple of them already. You know what I mean? I don't see the whole purpose of it right now. Not right now. I mean, the Slim already, then the Pro came right after that, like months later, and it was like,
and VR.
Yeah, VR.
Yeah, so I don't see it. That's don't really see a need for it.
Oh yeah, well I mean, let's say go crap go.
I'm going to say Sony is notorious for revisions. Even the PS3, that thing had the PS3 had 3 revisions as well. Yes. So yeah, I think that it makes sense from the standpoint that I bet they probably want to beat Scorpio even more by a price. And I'm not sure if the version that they have now can be sold at that much of a loss. You know what I mean? Like who knows when Scorpio comes out, how much it's going to be. Like we all can just speculate at this point. But it could end up being $399. We don't know. So I can
think
imagine
of it like this.
Go ahead.
They remastered the same game like 4 times.
Yes.
Was it Uncharted, Last of Us, whichever one it was. I can't remember, but
it was The Last of Us, Heavy Rain, God of War.
They remastered the same thing. Like I think they put it out once, then remastered it on the PlayStation 3. Then they did it twice. 4. It was the remaster, the remake, then the remaster of the remaster, and it was like.
And they also re-released the DLC as standalone on PS4 as well.
So if they got the mindset to do that, this right here is clearly possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. This is for show possible.
See, I think this was all the smaller Pro and everything was planned from the beginning, and I got to keep going back to that UHD disk drive, man. Everybody thought it was kind of weird how they were coming out with the Pro that didn't have that 4K disk drive in it. And I mean, I was one of those people as well. I think they tried to really make sure that Pro was coming out then, and they don't have a problem coming out with another piece of hardware the next year. You see a lot of those faithful or those extremists, they'll go out there and buy another piece of hardware. I swear. I think my boy Jabari out there, I think he canceled his heating bill and stuff like that because he's got so many PS4s in his house that he doesn't need that. He just turns all them shits on, man, and he heats the house, the apartment, whatever. Yo, they have no problem with that, man.
AKA, let's do a let's donate to Jabari's heat bill. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I didn't know it was going like that.
Jabari gonna be the first one with that.
Yeah, he is. Look, check it out. This is kind of in the same realm, but it's kind of off subject. This is just how, like you were saying earlier about how the Xbox, how the PlayStation fans just they don't change, they don't relent. I mean, and that is the power of the PlayStation, because those guys will change when PlayStation change. I made a video not too long today, actually, talking about Persona 5 and how there were people that were saying that Persona 5 is going to outdo Final Fantasy. Matter of fact, it's the standard now. It's the new thing that's I swear to God, there's reviews already giving it a 10, give it a 9.5.
In the States, and Japan already. It's not in the States.
No.
It's coming to the States here next. I think next week or a couple of weeks.
Oh,
but
you were telling me that game was coming out since like the end of like 2014.
I know, but everybody want to talk about Cuphead and Crackdown. But
no, it's out already in Japan. It's been
out for over a year in Japan. But the fact of it is this. Okay, all right. Everybody was excited about the fact that Final Fantasy was going to to be more modern, like it's more action. You don't have to do the turn-based. Yeah. Well, Persona is still clear to its roots. It's still doing the turn-based system. Yeah. And I made this video today, and I have so many people that's telling me Persona is the most electrifying thing that I've played. I played the Japanese version.
Those catch lines, those catch.
You can't. Final Fantasy's been going down here. Look, Final Fantasy. When it comes to JRPGs, Final Fantasy is the standard. So now, because Final Fantasy has changed to the modern way, now you're pissed off about it, and you're happy that it's going to the old school way. And this game is niche because they have these these homosexual overtones and these other type of things in Persona. I mean, I remember I was listening to BGST, they was clowning your ass show because
Gundam style.
Yeah, Gundam style.
Yeah, they was killing me with that.
Yeah. And so now it's like, because the narrative changed for Sony, it's that it is this, Persona is that shit because it's an exclusive. I have no idea where these guys get off. I mean, they change like the wind, and that's really scary to me. It really is.
Well, listen, and to be clear, you know what I mean, and I'm like I said, the reason why Final Fantasy gets niched to turn-based because they had to appeal to a broader audience, make it more action, because that whole style of gameplay is more like the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 era, you know what I mean? And to evolve, just be real, JRPGs don't have the force that they used to. Like Japan games are not running gaming like they used to. Everything is more action, third-person shooter, run. Things have evolved, and that's the reason why if they're going to stay with that, I'm not knocking those that may like Persona. If you like it, I love it. But that's the reason why it won't appeal to a broader audience.
No, it's not going to appeal to a whole bunch.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. And they're trying to tell me, somebody made like a 5-paragraph statement of why Persona is better than Final Fantasy. And I'm like, slap your motherfucking self. What are you talking about? Final Fantasy is the standard when it comes to JRPGs. It has been. It doesn't matter if they're on the downcline, because if it's on a down, if it's going down, basically, then that means all Japanese games is going down.
What came out first? I had a question. What came out first? Or was it Final Fantasy or was it
Final Fantasy came out before Fantasy.
Okay.
And it came out before. Persona's been out for a while, but Persona still hasn't been out. I mean, Final Fantasy is the granddaddy of them all when it comes to RPG.
One of them.
It's one of them. Yeah.
One of them. Star Ocean is another.
Yeah, they're Star Ocean. Yeah.
Okay.
Wild Arms, Legend of Lagoon, Legend of Legaia. It's Saga. There's been Ark of the Lad. Yeah, there's been great JRPGs, but it's not the same as it used to be, because you have to have, not these companies can put out as much money as what Square Enix can, because they are solidified like that. You know what I'm saying? Persona can never do that. It's only suited in Japan. That shit doesn't resonate in the US or in the Western market like it does in Japan.
All right. Well, sure. I guess it is what it is. Scrap. What else we got next on the list?
Hold on one second.
We did that.
Hold on. We got somebody else in here.
Who's that?
Arf.
You're back from Aruba?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, wonder where to have.
Listen, hold on. Before Tim Dog makes his grand entrance, we got about 400 people in here. Hit the like button, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say, man. Come on.
Hit the like. Helps the show. All right, but what we got next?
Hit the like button. Okay, well, we've got. Oh, now here we go. Nintendo shipping 20 million Switch units this year.
Hey, y'all should say that for
not only they no, you know what? I like that.
Nintendo Nazi in here.
I like the show.
Nintendo Nazi is here.
I like to shove this up Zaire and Xbox ass because they're like, Switch is gonna fail. It's gonna suck. Nobody cares about that. And then here it is, 20 million. Hey, if Microsoft don't watch their back, man, they'll be the caboose. Fucking bringing up the rear.
Oh man.
You pulling the iron wolf on us. Yeah, what's going to
Microsoft don't give a shit about the sales of their console. That's clear. But here's the thing: 20 million. They're going to ship 20 million in year one, right? Not only that, but they're going to have a big E3. They're not doing a direct. They're doing an actual live E3 with Switch games and 3DS games, and I think they're going to do like the new Metroid and all that kind of good shit there. I'm happy as hell. Like this E3 is going to be amazing. Okay. Tim, I'm envious as fuck because you're going to be there, man. Like,
let me see this.
I just don't like the name of the console.
What,
yeah, the name's stupid. Yeah, whatever. I mean,
that name is corny.
Let's be clear. This.
I'm gonna tell you,
Nintendo gets a
moist. I'm sorry,
a big pat on the back because they're Nintendo. I'm just being because you know, I mean, they're like I'm not saying Zelda may not be a great game, but you take a game like what's the game with the paint rollers and shit? Splatoon. Let that fit on the Xbox or the PlayStation. It wouldn't, receive higher praise. Like motherfuckers just like to give, I don't know, throw Nintendo a bone.
Well, they're Nintendo.
And to me, and again, that is the problem. You guys can take it from this. Is that this is my opinion? Like when I say that we've already seen this movie before, they really, and I'm not saying for those that like their software, cool. I'm not taking, but they're releasing some more hardware that really can't run third-party games. Okay, really, how you spin it, and you get exclusives every 3 months, every 2 months, And in this day and age, gamers are from what have you done for me lately? I mean, no one's going to be talking about Zelda come next month or whatever the goddamn case is.
It's going to be the damn game of the year, man.
I'm cool. I don't, whatever it is, but I'm just saying is no one's going to be talking about it as far as gamers. Us here, no one's going to be talking about it. They're going to be on to the next big and badder goddamn, multiplayer. Like you got games.
But it's not something. Look, nobody's going to just, except for the casuals, nobody's going to just have just a Switch.
I don't think it's a complimentary.
Well, no, they are, man. The casuals are eating this shit up, dude.
You think so? With no Duty, no Battlefield, no Star. Nah.
Oh, that shit, dude. That does the bad. Look, it does. I don't think the casuals are playing that shit. I think the casuals are playing 1-2 Switch.
Casuals not playing Zelda.
As we're talking about this, let me go grab Snap's Switch right here. Just put it in my hand while we're talking about it real quick.
Yeah, man, you got that real greatness right there, bro.
Dude, I look at this thing as a handheld, man, and that's
it's both, man. It's
not both, man.
Oh yeah,
dude,
man.
you can put an iPad screen up on a TV. All right,
exactly.
I don't know when you say 20 million shipped. I mean that, like, to me, was it shipped or is it manufactured?
They are shipping 20 million this year.
So how many of that is going to their new warehouse so this way they can?
No, dude. Listen. I mean, look. Here's the thing. Like, you guys have one now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want one, but I can't find one. I just think that people are gonna flock to this thing, and not only that, but look, the more this thing sells, let's say this thing jumps out to 20 million in year one. Holy shit. Guess who's on board then? It might not get third-party multiplats, but it's going to get third-party fucking exclusives out the ass, just like the Wii did. Like, that thing had so many third-party, exclusives.
It was all shovelware.
Well, no. It had a lot of really good games. It had there's so many underrated Wii games. Like, I don't want to get into it because then my Wii-ness will be showing. But,
weirdo-ness.
Yeah. But listen, I'm just telling you, it had Red Steel 2 is Excite Trucks, Excite, it had a lot of good Mario, that's obviously first party, but there was a lot of really great games on that fucking system. They had their own Dead Space that was fun as fuck. It was on rails, and I don't care if you like that kind of game or not. That game was fun as hell.
Whoever, and I want to get Show's opinion. I just, again, maybe, and it's not me damage controlling. I just don't see no one really, besides their Nintendo's fan base, their core, maybe a couple of hardcore gamers. No one's going to put down their Duty or their Battlefields, to go out and spend $300 to play fucking Mario Kart.
Dude, everybody I know has surprised one though, dude.
Everybody, I don't know.
Casuals love that Mario stuff.
Right,
okay.
And casuals, They
Why
love
didn't the Wii U sell well?
They love the Mario Karts. They
Here's
love
the thing.
all
Let me
the
say
stuff
this.
that you sitting
They
here
say
saying.
no lie, but my lie numbers don't lie. All these great games that you guys are naming that Nintendo make, it's
Mhm.
always on their consoles, right?
Yeah.
Just besides the Wii, which is appealed to non-gamers, not even the casuals. My grandmother has two. One in her fucking basement and one in the goddamn church they maybe touched twice, okay? All these great games that you guys praise Nintendo for has always been on their fucking platform, and they've been getting their teeth kicked in since the 64.
Well, no. Listen, the Wii again was great, and then you look at the Wii U, and it was very confusing. And people want, and you know why we got the Switch is because they took the feedback of people. They're like, we like the idea of tablet gaming and second screen gaming and being able to use that on your TV. But you know what sucks? We can't take that shit with you. You couldn't take it with you. People wanted to take it with them, and they fixed that. You can take that shit anywhere with you.
Talk to me, Show.
I don't know too much about the tablet thing. If you're gonna get your console, but I mean, all in all, I see a lot of casuals. Like, you know, my wife, that's what she plays on. She plays on the Wii or, you know, the Switch whenever she want to upgrade to that. But other than that, no, we good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting the same type of hate. Like, I'm getting looked at because I was saying that I was going to get the Switch and I couldn't find one. And now the old lady is looking at me like,
and where's it at? Because they love the Mario Kart. They, you know, and she like gaming with me sometimes, and those are the games she likes to play.
Right, and that's
I see the purpose of it, but other than that,
yeah. And then like at work, I've said this a couple of times on this show that the people at my job, they come to me and ask me about games, and then they say, "What do you think about the Switch?" And all of them at work are going to buy the Switch.
3-hour battery life. Right?
They don't care about that. That's the thing that you're not understanding. It's just looks cool. It has it's something. They're like, "Oh man, I'm not trying to go."
I'm not saying that you're lying.
Country boys out there, they be getting all crazy, and they be like,
"I'm not saying that you're lying." I know you're a good Christian man from the South, but I in my day-to-day life, no one has walked on me and said, "You know what, Zaire? What do you think about that Switch?" I've never heard that uttered to me, not one time.
I'm sorry, man. People out here from Oklahoma to salt the earth, man. We're talking, and they ask me, and I'm just, and you know, and I tell them the truth. I said, you know what, I'm going to get one. I said, but I mean, I'm primarily on my Xbox. I said, you know,
it's a complimentary console, right?
That's all it is, or something for you know,
right. And most of these guys have either a PlayStation or Xbox.
It's a what?
Yep.
It's a complimentary console.
Casuals don't buy complimentary systems. They buy one. They get their duty. They get their. I'm talking about the. Again, well, that's the case, right?
It depends on who you calling a casual. So
I'm talking about the casuals that buy maybe 5 games a year. You get their 2K. They get their Madden. They get their Call of Duty. Their Battlefield.
Are you saying you're a casual next gen?
Listen, I put the C in Caucasian and the C in casual. That's me all day long.
You know. It changed from person to person because you got some parents out there that don't want their kids on that. Then you have women that enjoys those type of games.
Right.
So it's a difference. It depends on who you cater.
My wife.
Now, if you look at a lot of the guys, yeah, we probably do the Call of Duty. We probably do all that, but not to say we won't do things as a family if we got like daughters or something like that at the house.
But
you ain't gonna sit down and play Mario.
Gaming is a very, very selfish hobby. Let's be clear. Okay? Very, very selfish hobby. My wife, she likes Nintendo. Her thing. And I would say, she may play the Street Fighter. She likes Street Fighter. The Mario. She likes Mario. But she's not going out dropping $300. And, you know, on Mario. If I get it fun, if not, she just played the regular Mario. That's what I'm saying. And like I said, I don't see this thing being huge because it doesn't have the
huge, bro.
No, now of course. Listen,
there he is, Tim Dog. It's bigly.
Everything.
It's bigly, right?
Bigly.
Okay, bigly. You know what? It's gonna win. Nintendo's gonna win. It's gonna win big. We're gonna get tired of winning. That's how big the Switch is.
It's not big. It's bigly.
Bigly. Yeah. I'm just saying. I saw this 6 months from now. Like, let's talk about it.
People know what this is. They know that this system is a system. It's a secondary system. It's something that's cool. Look, for a lot of people that have, you know, for gamers that have non-gamers as spouses or whatever, they mostly are on their cell phones. Especially women, they play the shit out of cell phone games.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And so the thing of it is that that's why I was saying that if the Switch just throws out some exclusives and throw out a couple of those same type of games, on their system, it's going to sell like hotcakes because people are going to gravitate to it.
Exactly. Not only that, but they're already rectifying the mistakes. There's rumors that they're going to announce a Metroid game for it at this E3 that's going to come out this year. That's going to be huge.
Happens. That's crazy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Well, look, there wasn't one on the Wii U. The Wii U was a stopgap console for them completely. And so what they're going to do is they're just going to really have a lot of content. And I think that like you're going to see a lot of stuff that they say it's easier to port games to that than the PS4. They say it's easier to dev on the Switch than the PS4, and people go on and on about how great easy it is and how great it is to put games on PS4, right? The Switch is easier. So you can see a lot of games going to that. I think that
like for us, like, you know what I mean? This
I think they could get even like
what
third
kind of
party
games
stuff.
are you talking about?
Yeah,
you know what? I can see them like if this thing's viable, why not? Why wouldn't they get a Call of Duty down the line?
Well, I'm not. Here's the thing, crap. If again, you got 4 gigs of RAM, say 3. You know what I mean? And with a very, very low memory band, I think it's 25 gigabytes.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, and also too, you got to realize a lot of these games that we're playing are always online.
Yeah,
and one of the advertising features of the Switch is to take with you anywhere. So it's not going to get the games. The Star Wars.
Why would look? It got Call of Duty on the Wii. Their
it's
own
not going to
version.
get much third party, I don't think. But
it's not going to get the same thing.
But it doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't really. You know, you said it from the beginning that they are held to a different set of standards.
Okay.
And you're right. You're 100% right. People do give Nintendo a little bit of a pass here and there, and that's and that's one of the things that is going to get the pass. Is this device or Switch is going to be. It's at the perfect time at the perfect place. It's considered a secondary console. It's not considered competition for the big two.
Obviously, since Microsoft advertised the fuck out of it.
Okay, let me ask you something.
That's where it's at.
Okay,
though.
fine. Let me ask you a question. In this room, let me shut the fuck up. Look at it like this, right? You know what the main issue Nintendo has against it, and you know what are their policies. Okay, listen.
Yes.
Listen, and we're nobody. We're very, very small potatoes in this stool here at YouTube or whatever we do. You know how many times I get in my inbox, thanks to you, Next Gen, or thinking I got the Xbox One, or I forgot this game. Nintendo still doesn't allow their games to be streamed, played. It's just
you can stream them, you just won't get paid for it.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You look at K Mega's friend. They took her channel, just for her doing an unboxing of the NES Mini. And so, like I said, word of mouth is a motherfucker, especially here. This is the #1 place in the world for video game advertisement is YouTube. And they still don't let the actual, us, the users, really go out there and share their content. You know what I mean?
At least they have one button screenshot sharing. That's better than Xboxes right now.
Well, I'm talking about far as, sharing. Listen, right now, crap is a fucking. Would you say what?
Supposedly that's getting fixed for Xbox.
Yeah. I already heard about that. We're going to be able to share screenshots and video to Twitter without having to go to a secondary site.
Yeah.
Like, I never see people share Xbox stuff anymore because you got to go click it and then it's like a hassle. Yeah. I don't know. So I did hear that's going to be fixed, but.
Listen. Does Nintendo get a little bit of a free pass here?
Yeah,
they do. And listen. At this point, it's right now. It's an item that the casuals do like, and I don't expect this to just stop overnight. When you have a forecast of 8 million to 20 million. That means there's really high demand. So I see this as being a console that really does well, or whatever you want to call it. And it is what it is. It's going to be popular.
Really doing that great.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
There's one good thing I take from this, because you guys know that Nintendo has been known to under manufacture and under ship. All right, so finally, at least with this piece of hardware, it seems like they're finally changing. Doing a 180 from that whole thing, and that's the one good thing I take,
because Xbox. You know what? Going back and just dipping into my immense history of knowledge of gaming, the Dreamcast. Going back to one of my favorite consoles, the Dreamcast, underproduced at launch and could have actually sold a lot more than they sold. But the fact that they didn't have enough stock really hampered them, because they could have sold a lot more, and then perhaps even met their marks and been
I
able
thought it was
to.
the way they launched it. It was like, hey, the Dreamcast out now. There were no.
That was the Saturn. That was the Saturn.
Just came out of nowhere.
And what,
like, boom.
yeah,
Saturn.
and what happened with the Saturn was they did, and they only, you know what, instead of giving it to all retail shops, it was they selected a few, and so some of the retail shops refused to carry any Sega products after that.
And it was cheaper. The PlayStation was cheaper. Remember that?
Yes.
Because that was the thing. Because at that time I was in high school. Yeah, I was in high school, and I was working at a pizza joint delivering pizzas, and I was kind of like, what do I got to make a decision if I'm going to buy this high price ass Sega, because I was a Sega guy, and I was like, man, but this PlayStation is cheaper.
Sony was the Apple back then, bro.
Well, yeah, they had a cool ass promo. Something I remember seeing the poster when I go to my local game store that was saying something about if you pick the PlayStation, or something about you got to worry about your Uranus or something, because of the Saturn. It was crazy. I forgot what it was. It was a crazy ass little promo. But the thing of it is that, look, man, I have a problem with Nintendo's policies, and that's what made me hold back because of the Miss K thing. And now, because I'm getting drilled because I haven't got one yet, I'm forced to get one. Old lady. She's like, you've been promising that you was gonna get one. She's like, and I see you buying more Xbox games. I'm like, I'm all right, I'm gonna get one. Damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but what about these policies? I'm not a fan of these Nintendo policies. But yeah, hey man, look, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look, keep a happy home. We all have women. You know how that shit is.
Okay, man, we all see through it. You really want that, but you
I do want one. At first, I was kind of I was now the Switch game gonna get. But you know what they did for Miss K? What they did for Miss K, I got pissed off, and I was like, all right, so I delayed.
Using the wife, you using the wife, K?
That terrible, man.
I'm using old lady, man.
Hashtag
loophole.
She's hashtag loophole. That on Switch.
Hell yeah, because I want to play Zelda my damn self. I'm not even gonna lie. I want to play the game.
Mario comes out and after Mario comes out this holiday season, I guarantee you no one's gonna be talking about the Switch. You can listen, bet my bottom dollar. If I'm wrong, I'll buy everybody a pedal game.
If they got 20 million consoles coming out, that means the demand is high as hell. I'm telling you, you're going to lose it battle.
Selling 20 million goddamn.
Hey man,
dude. Oh my god! Imagine if they do. People think the Xbox One, because people still are obsessed with thinking the Xbox One's only.
And you got the Scorpio coming out. I just don't. And you got Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, no, I don't think that, but that's a secondary thing for people, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
They don't view it in the same
exactly.
context.
It's not the same thing. It's not. It's like just people are gonna. They're gonna be like, holy shit, Metroid. That new Mario game looks amazing. Yeah. Mario Kart, Splatoon 2.
That new Call of Duty World at War 2, 4K native. On the
Scorpio. Hey, that's great. Yeah, but you know what? Like, here's the thing. There's enough for all that stuff, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, for most games,
it's too much.
Look, I got an excuse to buy more games for myself for the Xbox, so I'm not really tripping. So, you know, I mean, if I got to use it as a ploy, I'll use it as a ploy. But I mean, look, the Switch is a hot thing, man. Why don't we get off of this damn Nintendo topic? This should have been last.
That shit.
Jesus.
Hey, I like sending that stuff in, man. I like kind of rubbing that shit in a little bit.
Oh, you know me? Listen,
yeah.
Crap. I was only wrong about fucking Montana, but I wasn't even wrong about
Hey, we were both
wrong. I wasn't wrong about that.
You know what they need to bring back? You know what Nintendo need to bring back? I mean, really, they need to bring back Contra.
Oh, hell yeah!
No, dude, not for anything. They announced a Metroid, and it's this year. Like that, dude. Even with everything that I said about it, which I still stand true. It is an in tablet. It is a handheld. All that good stuff. If they come out with a Metroid, though, I will be the first one in line to get a new Metroid.
Man, shut your ass up, Mike. You're the first one to have You're the first one out of all of us to have one.
Yeah, I don't.
You're the first one to have one. You talking all that shit about it, and now you got one.
They're not part of that. The reason why I said we can this is because you already got Zelda.
It's all because of money bags.
Mario Kart coming out this year. They're not going to put so many exclusives in so they're going to they're not going to do that. to.
Well, no.
some
Here's
of
the
other ones.
thing: they came out and said that they had
Mhm.
problems with the Wii U because they were
Mhm.
just their developers were just learning how to work on HD games.
Mhm.
Now they've mastered, quote unquote,
They
working with
matched
these new.
720p.
Well, no, they've mastered the ability to use stuff like Unreal Engine and stuff like that. So
That's a damn shame.
they're gonna be able to make games much
what you
better.
saying, crap? Say it again. They just
Much-
mastered.
they
How long's
mastered-
Unreal Engine been out?
Yeah, I don't know, but look, they had no need to master that stuff before. You know what I'm saying? Because they just didn't. Now they're going to be able to put out the games at a better clip. We'll have to see what they come out with. You know what? This is extra. I like that they're going to do an E3. That's cool to me. You know what I mean?
Well, I do too. No, I'm with you, crap. I mean, that's
You serious?
finally. No,
They
finally.
finally doing one.
Yeah, they're going to be at E3. They're going to have a show.
Nintendo got some of the most boringest E3s in the world. Out there playing
Dude.
musical instruments and flutes and shit.
They got Reggie, man. They got Reggie.
Somebody save me, Mooch, save me,
Dude.
Somebody.
Well, dude, Sony last year had the orchestra that they pointed to.
Hey, dude, they've got Reggie. One of my most memorable moments is seeing Reggie go out on E3 stage and go, "We're about kicking ass and taking names, and Nintendo's about
Nintendo hasn't
making
kicked
games,
ass in
man."
about 35 years. Like, come on, man.
Oh, dude, come on, dude. You're just a hater, man. Come
No,
on.
I'm just being realistic. I've
come
grown
on.
up with Nintendo, but Nintendo has not grown up with me. I
Ah.
just don't get it, man. Like, I'm sorry. Next, Call of Duty World at War. What's going on?
Well,
with that?
no, it's not World at War. It's just Call of Duty World War II, apparently.
Oh, okay, World War II.
Yeah, okay. Now here's what's interesting about this.
Mhm.
Sledgehammer Games, right? And the person that leaked this, just by the way, the pictures. Who the fuck is making all that noise? Jesus. Yeah. So the person that leaked this like I guess like some posters and like a steel bookcase and a steel bookcase and all that stuff. And the same person that leaked this is the same person that leaked Infinite Warfare and the Call of Duty 4 Remastered. So good track record there. And the pictures look pretty fucking legit because they aren't like a mock-up render. It's a fucking picture. You know what I mean? So It looks like this is going to be real. Activision already said they're going back to the roots with this. I'm super excited, man. Everybody's like, "Oh crap! Did you hear? They're going back to boots on the ground. None more of that fucking mech suit bullshit." I'm excited, man. Like, can you like Scorpio, right? 4K 60. Let's get it, man. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. This is the shit that I want to see.
Well,
You know, this.
here's the thing. First of all, how many times they're gonna do World War II over and over and over again? I understand boots on the ground, but why not go to Vietnam?
This is the first one in 10 years, 11 years or something.
Well, but like that whole series up until that last one was all about World War II. You see what I'm saying? What I would have been more excited for Vietnam than
I was
anything
just
else.
gonna say that.
That would have been still boots on the ground. It would have been a new location. You know, you had the tropical like nature. You had the napalm, all that good stuff. That was not good stuff, but you know what I'm saying. All that shit that was going on over there.
Yeah, I hear you.
It would have brought him over to
That would pressure, dude.
That would have been cool, but listen, going back to their roots is World War II. Nobody's doing that right now. There's no World War II
Nobody's
shooters.
doing it right
But
now.
World War II has
That's
been
going back to
done
their
for
roots.
so many years, though.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Battlefield has set the standard, right? And even Battlefield even did a Vietnam expansion, and it was really dope. So what would have been smart for Activision was to go to Vietnam because that is one of those untapped areas that hasn't been fully
The
detailed.
first Black Ops they did some
what was
Vietnam
that's what I was gonna say. What was the first Black Ops?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
like
they
the
did.
first Black Ops
They
did.
did, man. They had that. You did that
that
mission
was
with the
in the
Rolling
game, though.
Stones, painted black, and it was like you're on the boat. That was a hell of a mission.
That was a hell of a mission, but I'm talking about just overall. Vietnam has not been really touched like World War II.
Because we got our asses kicked. they're not.
I know.
keen to-
I know, but see,
World
but
War
that,
II been touched more times than the Catholic altar, boy. Let's just be real.
right, but that's the problem with Activision. They don't have enough guys. They keep rehashing these games so quick that they don't give themselves time to really look and pay attention to what's going on and what they needed to do. World War II, yeah, it's good for this boots on the ground, but you're just copying off of what Battlefield is doing. And Battlefield is
did
now
World War One, which kind of blazed its own path, which I agree that was cool.
Mhm.
But I'm looking. You know what? One of my favorite games was World at War. So and that was 2008. So yeah, man, you're looking at almost 10 years, man.
All right, yo, I got a question for Crap. man, are they gonna actually like use an updated engine for this game? Do you think?
Are they still using it quick? Are they still using it
that-
quick?
Here's the thing, right? Look. Who here has played Infinite Warfare? That game's still using a modified version, and it looked
like
brilliant. It looked garbage. It looked amazing.
It looks good, but it's still man. Look, Advanced Warfare, where they should have wrapped it up. Or some people say, I say Advanced Warfare. Some people say Black Ops 3 because Black Ops 3 is better on the PlayStation 4 than it is on the Xbox.
Why is that? Explain.
Well, I think because of the deal making. Because if everybody remembers when they had that demo of Black Ops 3 on the Xbox, that shit was breathtaking. I was like, oh, wow, it moved fluid. Everything was right. The peer-to-peer was solid. Then all of a sudden, when you bought the game, I stopped playing it on the Xbox because the peer-to-peer was absolutely dog shit, and it was better. It looked better on the PlayStation. You know what? I'm keeping shit real. I'm not one that's going to be fluffing any type of motherfucking tickets. I'm just being real about it. So it was better there, and then I kind of fell off of the Black Ops thing, and I thought Advanced Warfare was the last great one, Call of Duty, just because of the mere fact that it was using those jetpacks and shit. What they did with Infinite Warfare is old, it's dead, it's tired. I'm glad they're going back to the boots of the ground, but they should have picked. There's plenty of eras. They could have took the Korean War though, crap, and gone there. That was completely original. Nobody has gone to Korean War.
Well, I'm sorry, but here's my thing. Here's my take. I think honestly, and I'm not, crap. You talk shit about dude every year, about every year, mooch. But I say this. I think they really should take a year off. I know it's such a big money maker for them, and Activision is extremely. I think they've taken over EA as being extremely greedy because they do have Destiny coming out, which is going to be huge, and truly, reinvent the game. You know what I mean? Because. To me, it's not the settings of where they're at and whether space or the locale or it's just that because no one really buys the game for the story when they do multiplayer.
I buy it for both.
Well, crap, you're a weirdo, but other than you, you sound like Warren. Somebody he really enjoys Halo 5.
I like the campaigns more than multiplayer with Halo as well.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Halo is the shit.
To really revamp it, you know what I mean? Because it's going to get, even though it's still the most successful selling first-person shooter, but it's not the juggernaut. You say that the behemoth that it
still was number one considering all that stuff.
Yeah, but it still is losing.
And hold on, and it's number one considering that EA announced what they hit 18 million with Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare still outsold it. Like Jesus, come on. Like I mean, yeah, like maybe it only sold 22 million instead of 28 million. Like I get it, but here's the problem: they have 3 developers working on games, meaning there's 3-year cycles now. And there's trends. So they just have to be better at reading the trends, right? Like you can't just cancel. Like when they got all that bad feedback for Infinite Warfare at that trailer release last year, they can't just change it. You know what I mean? That game was in development for 3 years. So it's like you got to go with it. Now, so that means that they were heading in a World War II direction 3 years ago. And you know what I'm saying? 2014.
Or they probably decided EA with Battlefield 1.
No, look, they had to have started this in 2014. Right? Maybe even before that.
Okay, but this is the thing, crap. Though I know that you're kind of one of the last.
That's day
people
one,
that
dude.
holds
It's day
on. I know you're one of the last guys that love COD. But this is the thing. I know that COD still outsold at the end Battlefield 1, but Battlefield 1 is going to still continue to
has longer leads.
Yeah, they have longer legs. I mean, it's gonna still be played. Like Battlefield lasts for 2 years, while Call of Duty it only lasts for 1. I mean, really 6 months. After that first DLC, maybe the second, it dies down. It goes away with the dinosaur. This is what I think that I agree with Z. It will benefit if the whole Call of Duty franchise just takes a year off. Let people want it back. I think Assassin's Creed is going to benefit that because they did take that whole year off, and when they come out with a dope ass, because I think Empire, because everybody's been wanting them to do something in Egypt, So I think that's going to be really hot, and I'm actually going to be excited for the Assassin's Creed, which I really haven't been. So
I
love
what? Assassin's Creed. So
well, yeah, Call of Duty needs to do the same thing. Just take one off and then focus on Destiny, because that is the franchise that they have the 10-year contract with, and focus more on that. But I know that's just really greedy, and I don't know if they will ever do that.
Well, look, no matter what you have, it's a different story with Assassin's Creed, where Assassin's Creed isn't on that level. If you're a business and you can sell 20 million copies of something, you're going to come out with it every year.
Grab your button.
We'll make more. He was sounding fine.
Everybody's button.
Oh, really? Everybody sounds fine.
You're botting.
I'm botting.
Yeah, you're the bot.
I'm the bot.
Wait, I wasn't bot.
You weren't botting.
Okay, it was Zaire.
Zaire's the bot.
Zaire.
I'm gonna hop back in.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is, if you're selling 20 million of something, you're not gonna stop it just because some people think that it's maybe saturation. You know what I mean? For me, I think that people look forward to that game every year.
Okay, but check this out, crap. This is what I think that Activision should do with the COD series. Take the year off, and instead of bringing out a new Call of Duty, extend another year for the DLC for whatever last COD that they come out with.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Bob.
All right, cool. I muted myself by accident. My bad.
Okay, I think if they do that, I think the popularity would come out, because a lot of people feel like, look, with Infinite Warfare, I want to sink my teeth into it because of the fact of the older remake, and I know that they're supposed to be adding Modern Warfare 2, and that is my favorite Modern Warfare of all of them, and so I'm going to buy it just because I love Modern Warfare 2. I'm stupid for that, but I'm going to buy it. But if they just extend the DLC for a whole nother year and have them time to develop a new, fresh Call of Duty, then they will be right back to being dominant like they used to. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that.
You know what? Like I said, I just think overall, I mean, to me, they're still the same games.
You guys are missing one thing. Yo, Z, my bad. You just missed one thing here, yo. When your key demographic, and I said key demographic, so I'm not talking about crap. I'm not talking about the people out there listening that are kind of older and get into Call of Duty and stuff like that. But when your key demographic is 10 to 14-year-old boys, you don't really have to change shit. All right? You don't have to. You can come out and regurgitate the same thing over and over again.
I'm with you.
I think they have changed it, though. I mean, look at the years, right? There's a reason why there's old school Call of Duty players and then there's new ones, right? Like for me, a lot of people like the jetpacks and stuff. So
okay,
and that's not my thing. Like
but
for me,
it still plays the same, feels the same. But to me,
no. If it played the same, then I would be able to play that newer shit, man. I can't play that shit for anything, man. It's terrible.
About it? It's the same engine. What's different?
It's not that it's because you can't I'm talking about like the packs and the jumps and all that kind of bullshit. It's completely different game.
The jump pack was different. You know what I mean?
It's a completely different like just the way it is. You know, Call of Duty to me was 6v6. You had moderate to small maps. It was close quarters combat. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was all about. And then they started trying to expand in it, making it trying to be. Yeah, they tried to make the maps giant, even though it's still only 6v6. They tried to do Battlefield style maps, which doesn't work. Then they started, they started like changing some of the things, like with domination, you switch sides now and capture the flag instead of unlimited flag caps. It's like 3 and then you win.
Okay, here's a question, crap.
Like they changed it so much to where, and they added too much to it. Like it was super simple at first. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, super simple, right? I get it. They added the streaks. Cool. Then they started doing way too much. Like I can't even figure out how to do half the shit on the newer Call of Duties, right? It's like design this or do that. You know, it's
what I mean by ridiculous. It's to me, like I said, when it still handles the same. You know, still. I understand.
That's Call of Duty.
Yeah,
people like it.
Okay, Call of Duty. But what I'm saying is this, and what can make maybe look like it, that you have to evolve. You have to change with time. You know what I mean? Whether it's for the better or for the worse. They can't just still give us the same Call of Duty Modern Warfare from, back in the 360 era. You know, because they have competition, whether it's from Battlefield or whoever else. You know what I mean? You know, shooters are getting, but they have to compete. They can't just say, hey, you know, Call of Duty. I mean, I don't know, man. You know, I guess they're still going to outsell everything this holiday goddamn season.
Yeah.
But
dude, I'm telling you, people are really going to be on board for this in a big way. I can guarantee you. The sales are going to be right back up this year.
Not where it was, though. It's not going to be where it was.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, supposedly they're going to offer Modern Warfare 2 thrown in. So,
okay, look at like this. A perk.
They need to fucking take a year off. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is not the juggernaut. If they were to leave this thing, you know, Grand Theft Auto 6, right? Because most people play Grand Theft Auto now for the multiplayer, not for the actual story. If they were to release Grand Theft Auto the same goddamn day as Call of Duty gets goddamn teeth kicked in.
Yeah, well, any year that Grand Theft Auto comes out, every game is going to get its teeth. You just ask Alan Wake with
backs away real quick.
But also, like I said, Grand Theft Auto, it's not every year. You know what I mean? It comes out every 3 to 4 years, and bam, it's huge. And how they support the game is through their goddamn multiplats. You know what I mean? You don't need a new Call of Duty. They do it like a goddamn sports franchise.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's getting a little tired. That's all that I'm saying. Maybe you may
Well, yeah, you know, and here's the thing, though, right? Like, just with, like, some people are like, man, there doesn't need to be a Forza every year. And I'm like, there's not technically. I mean, some people are motorsport guys. Some people are Horizon guys. So, yeah, like, you know, I like them both. So I buy them both. But there's the option. You don't have to buy in every single time. You know what I mean? Like, get the ones that appeal to you. The problem with it is the newer style with the futuristic stuff didn't appeal to me personally, so I could have easily, and I did for the most part, skip them online. Like I've got the story, I like the stories and stuff, whatever. But this one, yeah, man, I'm really excited to get back to the roots and World War II. Like that's what Call of Duty's all about to me.
Okay, but check it out.
Dude, I love it, man. I'm day one.
The one reason why.
They gotta do Call of Duty drug wars.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, we gotta get this man. We gotta get this man some help. Boy, help this man.
I own all of, dude. You know how many Call of Duty games I own? Probably 14 or 15.
Yeah, I used to buy Call of Duty.
No, I know there's not that many, but I own them on.
I own them on OG Xbox.
Oh, the server's still up. You can still play them all online.
Yeah, you can on the 360 and shit. You can. I own a bunch on 360. I own some on PS3, and then obviously I own. Let's see, on Xbox One, I own Ghosts, Advanced Warfare.
You bought them all, didn't you?
Black Ops. Yeah, I own every single fucking one of them. Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare. I even own Ghosts on 360 because that came out before the Xbox One did. And so I actually double dipped that year. And they must have made a shit ton that year. Ghost wasn't my favorite. I liked the story a lot.
Oh, the story was fantastic. I thought it was really good. The multiplayer was trash because the maps was too big. I mean, when I was talking to other players, we were all hoping when it got to the Xbox that they were going to expand the players because the maps were so big. It seemed like they were trying to combat against Battlefield in some way and forth because they had those big ass maps, but they never did it. And that's when I kind of lost my whole respect for Activision because I was like, you guys are only in here for the money and not to enhance these games because these systems can take it. While Battlefield 3, if you remember, extended their game to where it was Battlefield 4, I thought. But it was broken as fuck. That EA rushed it. That's what killed them because Battlefield 4 would have definitely destroyed Ghost, but they launch was so broken on the Xbox One and on the PlayStation 4. They had the right amount of players. The problem is that the game was broken, and then when you looked at COD, they just ported it over. And they were like, damn, I could play back on the 360 PlayStation 3 and I could see the difference because I'm not playing with the same amount of players that I am on the new consoles. It was perfect for EA, but then, you know what I'm saying? But I loved Ghost. Ghost story was absolutely amazing. I wish they would bring it back.
Well, look at what we're going to get this year, right? Like it's looking like it's going to be like the most fucking packed year, even more so than last year. Look, there's going to be, again, you guys aren't interested, but Call of Duty is something I'm definitely going to get. Destiny 2, but that's still releasing. Red Dead Redemption 2 looks like that's going to be a thing.
Oh, it is this year?
Yeah, well, it leaked supposedly September 26th. Well, Sony, wow, like Destiny 2 is September 8th. Red Dead 2 supposedly September 26th. That is tough to fucking compete against having, you know, I don't know.
Well,
That's going to be.
It kind of ties back to what I was saying that we talked about. I think I talked about it with Worry and Tim. You still didn't get Tim on this. Like, I don't understand again how they're just out hustling Microsoft when it comes to these, with everything.
Phil said he doesn't care about.
I know I said it. You know what I mean? What do you say? I don't see what gamers.
He says that he doesn't see any growth in that type of stuff, keeping your stuff off of platform for a certain amount of time.
Huge, though.
Well, no, not just that. He said he didn't believe in marketing. He didn't see why gamers cared about marketing. Right?
Obviously, he doesn't because Sony has every fucking marketing deal that you can think of.
They do. Lord help us if they have Battlefront 2 as well. Like, holy shit.
But you know what, Tim, and maybe you can throw this away. What Sony does best, and what's going to help them out combat, because no one's going to come out this holiday season. They're going to have Red Dead Redemption themed PS4 Pros. They're going to have Call of Duty themed PS4 Pros. You know what I mean? And which is going to help. Gamers, we love our gadgets. Now Microsoft got these goddamn themed fucking controllers every goddamn month, new controller. You know what I mean? So this is going to this is going to be big for them.
It'll be big, but I think I honestly feel like in regards to some of the stuff with the marketing, I think that if Scorpio is billed as what it's supposed to be,
it's going to be.
It's going to do its own marketing. I mean, just to have your game to be better and to have it possibly native compared to, a lower resolution on PS4 Pro is a big deal.
Who's going to bang that home, Tim? It can't just be us.
Well, I do think that it'll be out there. Put it this way: whenever there's this talk about 4K or real 4K, or you put that stuff in some of your thumbnails when you do that, there's always some type of reaction. People, a lot of the things that we're dealing with, people are casuals, and that's the bottom line. Mm-hmm. And the word will get out that Scorpio is going to play your games better. And by a lot. I mean, if it's billed as supposedly what it's supposed to be, where you might be getting 4K textures, where you're going to be getting, native 4K, higher resolutions, who knows about the, better frame rates. If it's beating it, Digital Foundry will definitely be covering it. And they could try to damage control it, but it's going to.
I'm saying this, Tim.
I'm looking forward to this, Tim. Yeah, the checkerboarding doesn't look as good, but really,
look at it from an angle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
No, guys, check this out. When it comes to who's going to bang it home, there's a subcategory that a lot of people are missing. I think it's going to be huge. Now, with the Scorpio, they're talking about DVR and game clip capture at 4K, 60 frames per second.
About that.
You're bringing what you're seeing on your console to YouTube, to Beam, to Twitch. Now you have these big time content creators, live streamers and stuff like that. When they see that a console is giving the same type of streaming quality, same type of game capture quality as like the high-end graphics cards on a PC, they're going to start using Project Scorpio to stream their console games. That's going to have a huge trickle down effect to the people that sub to them, to the people that follow them. It is a big thing in today's day and age.
Okay. You know what? I agree. Let me say this one thing. In the ideal world, Xbox, you're absolutely right? The Xbox platform has always had better features than the PlayStation 4. Let's be real. You know what I mean?
Fear Factory is fucking.
Oh, okay. That's better than that came later on. That came later on. Just to overall, some of the things that we used to praise about. You know what I mean? We didn't have the power thing we're getting. So we always should talk about the features of the Xbox One. I don't think, just being realistic, I don't think even with our greatest 4K 60 sounds to us, they probably still don't play that big up in the YouTube. That get swept. I thought, best when we used to be on Skype. Before we all were on Twitter, popping shit.
Well, a lot of people don't even understand it, though, Zaire. The point that I'm trying to make is that it's just going to be something that people view Scorpio as better, as they'll view. You could play your multi-plats better on Xbox, and I think it's gonna have an effect.
Well, Microsoft. What I'm saying, you remember this, Tim? Hey, 1080p makes you a better gamer. Could we? Microsoft.
I think
play
Microsoft's
nice.
going to be. Yeah, I don't think they're going to play
That's
nice.
what I'm saying. They stop playing nice. You know,
The
what I mean?
marketing is going to go after them. In my
This is-
opinion.
This is the overall thing, gentlemen. I mean, with regardless of whatever that how we spin it, this is it. Xbox is saying that they listen to us, right? Because there was a lot of people that in the beginning that was saying, "Where's the first party? Where's the first party? Where's the first party?" So Microsoft has said, "Okay, we listening to you. Here is the first party. We're going all out on first party." Now, we're talking about what's coming up here at the E3, and I think for the short term beyond right now for the Xbox, they're going full first party. Phil Spencer said that. I believe it, right? So now it's going to be the test. First party Xbox games against PlayStations. They have their first party game, but they're going to sell the shit out of the third party. So then we're actually going to see where the gamer head is at, because there's so many people that's been saying Xbox first party hasn't been coming out. Now Xbox is going to start coming with the first party. I guarantee you there's going to be these fanboys who are going to say, well, where the third party support? Where the third party support? Now I know, UZ and others has been saying, you need to buy, and I wasn't on board, but I am on board on the sense that you got to have some kind of third party just to show the power. I know we got Shadows of War, but I think we need one or two more games just to solidify that you can show the third party games at a yeah.
I agree. I think Battlefront 2 is
they need that. They need that.
They need
well, if not, then I say this: Splinter Cell.
No,
Splinter Cell I've heard is a thing, but that's not as big as. You have a you have a mainline Star Wars.
Listen what I'm saying.
That's all they need.
Listen to what I'm saying, guys. Hold on, wait. Listen to what I'm saying. I said this.
Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish.
God damn it! Let me finish. Now let me just say this. It would be what would be
John.
Yeah, Joe. What would be huge is if they say Splinter Cell is only on the Xbox. That is something that will get the people like, oh shit. Or let's just say that, okay, we heard rumors of the new Tomb Raider coming out, and Xbox didn't fuck around and said, this isn't a time exclusive, this is our exclusive. That would be huge.
That's honestly, Craig, I'm with you, but that's still not as big as Star Wars. The new Star Wars Battlefront.
You know what? But I get what you're saying on the outside looking in, but further down the line, when gamers is going to be waiting for that Splinter Cell or waiting for that Tomb Raider, and Xbox got that game as a first party, they're good.
This is what I say about this, because those are more for the
third party.
With the Splinter Cells or whatever, it's not a casual game. Like when I say about bought by the casuals, and Call of Duty, Destiny, and even Star, those are console sellers. You know what I mean? That people are going to go out, and get their just for that. That's what I'm saying. They need one of those big games to show off, the power of the Scorpio 4K, whatever it's going to do, and it looks heads and shoulders above how it looks from the PlayStation 4. That's what's going to sell Scorpios, or can sell them. I mean, and I hope they just didn't say, "Hey, we got the more powerful console coming out." Like, you know what? To me, like I said, maybe you guys can add to this. It's like, to me, like with Microsoft's marketing and some of the moves that they make, it's just been so all over the place. Like, the things I feel they should do, they don't do. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like a no fucking brainer. I don't know how Sony's out there out hustling for that. They got the Destiny for a couple years, but even like I said, you look at Destiny. I know I'll give Microsoft was probably kicking itself in the ass. That can have been an Xbox exclusive. You know what I mean? And then they didn't have the.
Well, that's why fucking Bungie left. They wanted to make it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's like it's like
they tried like hell to keep Bungie.
They should let them make fucking Destiny.
Donnie Mac.
That game was fucking huge.
They did try to keep. They did try, but listen. At the end of the day, right now, Sony is the market leader, and Xbox is kind of like setting themselves up to see what the reaction is going to be for Scorpio. I mean, if they could get Battlefront 2, that'd be huge. That's all they really need. That can combat everything that they have.
Yes,
because
they need that.
They have a lot of things going for them as far as games, software, and hardware. But it wouldn't hurt to have one fucking.
They need it though.
One big deal.
Well, here's the thing, Tim.
Well, they have one. They have Shadows of War.
Yeah, but
this comes out
talking about like a Star Wars is something that
Yeah.
Star Wars basically won Sony.
Yes.
If you go back,
I was talking about that. I told you.
That won
Darth
them.
Vader sticker.
Yeah, with the Darth Vader.
I mean, that's going to be huge.
2015. So
Yes.
I mean, like I said, Microsoft. There's a lot of things that are open ended right now, and we need answers to. And I find that one of the third party support is one of them, because here you are, you talk about you're going to take that money and you're going to push it into first party supports and new IP. Well, we got to see that. So if you don't show that, that's kind of on you. If you're not going to push out first party and new IPs like you said you are, well, then at the very least you should have marketing deals, because marketing deals
are important.
Help sell your system.
Okay, what about a new? What about? Okay, their Xbox is doing something with Bethesda. What if there's a new Skyrim that's coming out and they're sponsoring it?
Well, that's not going to be that out this year, though. I do think that they do have a good deal with Bethesda.
Well, this is what I'm asking you, Tim, and maybe Crap can add to this. Is that I don't think Microsoft think that they need it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, to me,
they don't care. Like everything that I see from Microsoft, I think they're in the gaming industry for the long haul, but they do not give a shit who's buying their console. They don't care. That's why they never talk numbers. It's always engagement and Xbox Live and all this stuff. And I already said that earlier. Like, their software and stuff is making them money. They are catering. If you read who's that? Yusuf Mendy made this blog post, and I guess is flipping people out, talking about how. Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that Microsoft is focusing on people, like listening to what they want, even though it's not always popular with like investors and stuff. It's people first, Okay.
Well, what people need? They're not listening to us.
Well, I mean, didn't we ask for? Hey, hold on! Don't jump to the conclusions. We did ask for a more powerful console, right?
Yeah,
and we asked for more first parties.
Well, at that point in time, was the community screaming for first party? Because we were getting a lot of exclusives, the Sunset Overdrives, we were getting a lot of exclusives. I think the We Heard You console is the fact of power. That's what I think they were really talking about.
Yeah. We were asking for no more resolution bullshit, and you know what I mean. And we asked for, like, a certain hardcore group asked for that Elite controller, and we asked for
Elite controller. I don't remember that, but it was a welcome addition. But what I'm saying by not listening to us, what I'm saying is this crap. For them, for Phil saying stuff that I don't see. It's not about the marketing rights. Or who, even though they did play up a lot, who gets the DLC? I don't even personally buy any goddamn DLC. But what I'm saying is you have a new hardware coming out. Crap. This is what I'm trying to say. New, more powerful goddamn console, right? Supposed to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. But then you have, like I said, you got coming out. You need one of those big, you can't get Destiny. Sony got that tied up. You can't get Call of Duty. Sony got that tied up. You know what I mean? And I don't know how long the deal was with the.
We have those, Z. I mean, that's the thing. You make it sound like they're exclusive to the PlayStation. I know that they're going to advertise it that way.
You see it on TV, you're going to see it for the PlayStation.
Xbox is listening to what we were saying in the beginning. In the last couple of years, we've been talking about where's the first party. We need a Rise. We need a Sunset Overdrive. We need another Quantum Break. We need these type of games. We need some old Xbox One games. Look, these games take time to develop. Yeah, we need these games.
I think on the list of things that we need. Hey, this is the thing. I think the things that, as far as Jesus Christ, I think the thing as far as like what gamers need. The thing that we don't actually need is marketing deals. Like, as far as gamers, who gives a shit? Like, I personally don't care. I get that it would help bring recognition to the Xbox, Scorpio, and all that stuff, right? But as far as just us gamers, I would rather have them spend that money, like that $50 million on Call of Duty, or something else.
Okay, listen, what I'm saying, look at it like this, right?
Oh, hold on, wait. Crap, did you just say that you would rather have Xbox spend $50 million on promoting Call of Duty than making?
No, I said the opposite. I said I'd rather have them spend that money on a game.
It was about to. Look at it like this. It was about to happen.
Listen, look at it like this. What has been going on for the last 3.5, 4 years? Okay, what has propelled the PlayStation 4 to stardom? They've had the better version of the multiplayer. For the exclusive, that's for us here, the hardcore. You know what I mean? And again, but you know, the duties, the 2K, you know, those games sell all year long. And why not have the better and being able to show, hey, we got the better version of, you know, true 4K native. That shit there is important. You know, perception is everything. You know, that's what
we have to do something though. Z, we're the ones, the content creators that can show that. Well, look, I mean, hell, if we're going to take the time out to go out and talk about games and show videos of games,
listen,
we can show which one's the better one.
Let's be realistic. We're considered the goddamn cancer of the goddamn gaming community. Anything
Who
we do
gives a fuck? Those are haters.
No,
they
I'm just saying.
They don't give a fuck about them. Go let their ass kick rocks.
Listen, I've been a good Christian.
I ain't worried about them bastards.
I've been a good Christian praying man for the last 4 goddamn years. Okay, and fuck that. You know what I mean? If they're not going to do it for themselves, and they have to do it, why is Sony out hustling you in the gaming? I don't understand. I still don't.
Because they're more thirsty. They're more thirsty.
Phil doesn't care about the marketing deals. He's already said that multiple times. Like, I think
overall marketing,
most marketing deals are not that huge. Like I'll granted the Destiny is a huge marketing deal, but a lot of marketing deals are like Titanfall 2, where it's just like, hey, you know, we get, you know, we'll show it, we'll have our thing, or
like The Witcher 3, where they just showed a symbol at the end of the thing or whatever.
Exactly. So a lot of times it you know, isn't a big deal, but in this case, I do feel that they should trying to get Battlefront 2. In my opinion.
Yeah, they need. Well, I agree.
There's so much. Yeah. They have so much of everything else.
I agree that they can show one more game, but if Xbox is going ham on first party like we were asking for, then damn it, give them their damn respect for listening.
Their idea of ham is going to be Forza Motorsport 7.
No, it's not.
Hold on. We are getting these 4 games this holiday. We're getting Forza Motorsport 7, Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, and State of Decay 2. That's going ham.
Man, y'all going with that bullshit. Look, I don't want to hear this pity pat just crying shit now.
It's
time to be Xbox. It's time to. It is great, but it's time to be Xbox goddamn strong. I don't want to hear this shit. Like, look, I'm thinking bots over here buying every goddamn thing under the sun that's not an Xbox game, and he's over here looking like Iron Wolf over here. This motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Iron Bot 1080p. Look, Xbox strong. Where all my Xbox guys at? Put up the one on the motherfucking shit. Let's go. Xbox strong. Let's stay with this shit.
This holiday season, Sony got Gran Turismo, right? They got
Gran Turismo. I don't know if they have God of War. I'm not.
I've heard that, dude. I'm just saying.
The voice actor said it was.
All I'm saying is I've heard that that's their Scorpio counter.
Okay,
I mean, if that's pretty big. But
they got Gran Turismo, which is going to be big for them. They got God of War, of course, and they got the Uncharted.
I've also heard rumblings of Bloodborne 2.
Releasing this year, that'd be overkill.
I think.
Well, listen.
I'm going to say that God of War is not ready, even though you guys.
Look at all these ones, gentlemen. Look at all these ones.
Listen,
Xbox is strong here.
Listen though, hey, Tim, doesn't this make look? I know people don't jump on this from software because they're not Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed. They've quietly released a game every single year. And we know that Bloodborne 2 is in development. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Bloodborne, and you look at the last one, came out in 2014, and now we're in, or was it 2015?
I don't trust it. I just don't trust the way their games come out. I just don't trust. I think that they are definitely in process, but I just don't see them hitting the holiday.
That's not a first-party studio, though. I mean, yeah, they help with that, but still, From Software cranks out those.
They also had delays too. I'm going to say that they're going to have the Uncharted, the Uncharted standalone, which they're going to pretend is a AAA. When it's just basically a standalone. We went through that already because I remember when Sony fans used to be. They were actually infamous. They were counting that as a triple.
That Last of Us standalone DLC was also something.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, we've been through all that.
That
Raiders guy used to come in the chat.
He was here earlier.
Was he? He used to list these fucking games like Tropico 5 and these indie games, like most of those games all ended up on Xbox anyway.
Yeah, the indie thing. You know, it's funny because I talked about that. I'm not going to go off course, but you know, Xbox is doing tremendous with indie.
I saw that. You know, like I know it doesn't seem like it's a big deal because most of us, like most indies, are bad, and we don't. But it is important to get that those developers on board.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're AAA guys, and I think we've always said that. We weren't, you know, gamers who, you know, who were, you know, pretending because they didn't have, you know, they did. You know, I remember, you know, Jabari, as we always, you know, I always talk about, you know, he was fucking listing Octodad and all these these cheesy ass games. I was like, bro, I'm like, are you kidding me?
They're games.
You know, yeah, exactly. You know, it's nice though. They definitely turned that around, and again, that was you know, it was made a big deal because at the time, Xbox was lacking in it. So of course, all of a sudden, it became such a huge deal. Now that they're fucking pumping out thousands of games, guess what? Nobody gives a fuck. Right. So, but on topic, you know. What were we talking about? What was the what we were just on?
Them releasing these big games would be huge from this.
I see them doing Uncharted, and I see them doing GT4, and I don't see God of War, and I don't see Bloodborne. So, you know, that's
Bloodborne's next year. That's going to be.
Hold on, listen. You also have to take into account this. Don't count out Days Gone coming out this year.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
thrown in the mix.
I don't think
and the reason
that game is, I don't think that game.
They had a bunch of pop-ins. I think that's going to be a mid-off.
That's a mid-tier game anyway. It's not like I get it. It's not like a big AAA, but don't count it out coming out this year because it's zombie themed, and then I think next year they're coming out with The Last of Us 2 at the end of the year. Or
I think Last of Us 2 is way off.
You think that? You think it's way off? You know what's going to win Sony E3 this year, right? They're going to show off like 2 minutes of gameplay of that, and people are going to just like crap themselves. Like, oh my god!
They're going to show Spider-Man.
I feel like Xbox is going to have tradition to this gen. They're going to have a stronger holiday. And by a lot, probably. Nobody will bring it up. No, even if, let's just say that Sony just had the Uncharted standalone and it just had GT Sport versus 4 games for Xbox, which is Forza, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3. Let's just say that's all that. People are going to go back to the same thing that they were, you know, they're going to go into hibernation and act like they didn't do what they did this month or the month previous when Horizon came out.
And then early in the year, next year, if they have a few games come out,
right, they'll go back.
Microsoft has an exclusive problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we know all that's bullshit, but I see Xbox really, you know, having a really strong Q4, and that means you're going to see these games that we talked about, but you're also going to see a lot of updates to games to show how powerful Scorpio is. I mean, Scorpio
that Fable game is going to blow minds, I hear.
Yeah, the Scorpio is.
Tim just is like, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying. But Scorpio
Tim's heard. Tim knows.
Scorpio is gonna show that it's a true 4K capable machine. I think that's going to be the biggest thing this holiday, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even you know, we talk about software. Software is going to matter, of course, but I think people are going to be like, "Oh shit, I can fucking match this with my 4K instead of the half-ass. I'm going to go with the full 4K. I'm going to go.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with the best." You know what I said to my brother Hellhammer, because he was, you know, like those of you guys. Yeah, Hellhammer's my brother.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
shout out to Hellhammer for subscribing to my channel, man. Big props.
Yeah, his nickname's Trollhammer because he's always fucking with me. And he's like, "Yeah, that PS4 Pro, man." He's like, "That PS4 Pro Slim, you're gonna buy that too?" I was like, "Look, I got 4K TV, not a checkerboard TV. You know what I mean? Like seriously, man, I upgraded to that shit for a reason." You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. There's like, I get it. Like the checkerboard thing, people are crazy about that, even though last year.
You got to realize though, it's crap. You're dealing with not even that. You're dealing with, it's just a full-on 4K machine. You're going to fucking be able to DVR 4K 60.
Oh, I know, dude.
You're going to be able to stream.
I'm going to be able to record content and shit in 4K 60.
You're going to be able to watch from a disc, just like Xbox One S. You can be everything is 4K. The whole system is 4K.
Now y'all talking
what I
like
got?
y'all got some damn sense right now. That's what I'm talking about.
There's nothing even comparable right now. You can.
And you know what the best thing is? I've got all my
PC
games.
doesn't have 4K drive, right? Does VK
no.
doesn't have UHD? I mean, this is a 4K device that's never been introduced, and it's going to be introduced.
And the easiest thing for a gamer like me that's an Xbox gamer right now, like I looked at the Xbox One as a starter 4K thing. Now all my games are on external hard drives. I'm going to unplug those fuckers, plug them right into my Scorpio, and I'm good to go. I don't got to fuck around with anything, man. I got fucking 422 games ready to go.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, let me say this before we get the hell up out of here. Did you hear about the last little bit of news that Halo Wars 2 got stomped out by, was it Neo, Yakuza? All those little niche games supposed to outsold Halo Wars 2.
Well, hold on. Like in the NPD, Neo was number 9. You know what I mean? Like that's oddly enough, fucking Grand Theft Auto 5 was in the top, I think, 3. Like,
that's the new fucking Minecraft.
Right.
It is. It's like that game is like they don't even need to come out with another another one, dude. What is that? Like 60 million, 80 million, something like that's fucking crazy.
Something almost 75 million. Bro.
Yeah.
But check this out. Well, I was gonna say, check this out. This is one thing that I don't think anybody knew about. I stumbled upon it myself, and that was in the first quarter of this year. The Scorpio, I'm sorry. The Xbox One S outsold the PlayStation, the PlayStation in the United States. And nobody. I read this when I was reading on Stocks and Bonds, and they were talking about Microsoft as a whole, and this was on it wasn't in Forbes. It was I think
they outsold. What you mean? As far as what?
Their consoles. The Xbox One S outsold the PlayStation 4 in the United States this first quarter, and I was like, "Where's the gaming media?"
They haven't won an NPD.
That's I don't know. That's what was in the Wall Street Journal.
That's alternative facts right there.
I posted the article. I posted the article in my video. It states right. I posted on Twitter as well. It stated that that Xbox announced that they have beat because it was talking about stocks. I was tripping out because I was like, what? Now overall, worldwide, the PlayStation probably won, but they said in the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we should close the show with that. My man K-Make's not feeling well right now.
Man, I'll show the article in my video. I'll show the art. Matter of fact, I'll bring the article up and post it on Twitter.
Are you sure it wasn't The Onion?
No, it was from.
Yeah, the Xbox One didn't outsell PlayStation VR. It did outsell PlayStation VR.
It outsold. I'm just showing what it says.
Remember this, Xbox. When every train needs a caboose. Xbox wants the sales caboose. Choo choo.
Yeah.
It's gonna be third place for a little bit.
I'm gonna post it right now because I showed it. Because I read the article earlier this week and I showed it, and then I'm gonna show it again just for y'all.
I don't see how it didn't have one.
Woo.
It said in the United States. I didn't say worldwide. It said United States.
NPD is only United States. Can make it?
I don't know. That's what they said. I don't know. That's what it was addressed in there.
Are you sure it wasn't? Because this is what Microsoft spun their NPD thing, right? They said for the last 6 months of last year, they beat PlayStation 4 in sales in North America.
No, they said the first quarter. The first quarter. That's I'm just like, oh,
this year,
first quarter of this year, because the Xbox One S came out just last August. So I was like, okay. So I'm going to post it again right there.
All right. Well, let's see this.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not Bob's blog or something.
No.
Will you put the article? You gave it to us on Twitter?
I'll put it on Twitter. I'll put it on Twitter again because I posted
in our inbox.
Hold on, post it. I gotta find it again.
Damn.
Yeah,
So,
it's interesting. What do you guys think about
shout out to the dealer who's dealing on some fraud right now.
Oh, I saw that. He's dealing on the hey guys.
Hey
guys, I'm an Xbox guy, but now I'm a PC guy, guys.
I don't know anything about a PC, but I'm a PC guy.
I'm a PC guy. Like,
what are you talking about?
Guys.
What are you talking about?
The guys.
The guy.
I'm
an Xbox guy.
Come on,
yeah, I'm an Xbox guys. Xbox is around.
Go read Dealer's destruction right now. He's destroying.
I sent him. I sent him the GIF of Mortal Kombat saying finish him because he was like
I
fucking
mean, Jesus, that guy.
Yeah.
When you're losing, you know what? You just got to take the L and bounce back the next day.
Listen,
Hey, and congrats to that dude, man. He passed 10,000 subs too, man. Like fucking.
Congrats. Oh shit.
Yes, good job to the dealer. Here we go, right here. Xbox, Microsoft notes they won first quarter in the USA, driven by the new Xbox One S and the new Xbox One game titles. Xbox Live monthly active users grew 21% to 47 million users. Eyes right here. I just posted.
But what's the date on it?
Yeah, what's the link? What's the link to the article?
It was this year. I gotta go back and go find out.
Guys, I'm an Xbox guy.
Now look, I'm just saying. I mean, that's the article that I'm sitting there and I posted it right there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, we're gonna get the hell up out of here. My man can't make us feel under the weather.
Man, I just posted it. What? Like what the fuck? I just read this shit.
No, we're looking for the link. Where's the link? They ain't no.
Okay, I'll put the link in. I gotta go find that
from
article.
Ronald
The
McDonald
whole article.
That's not. Maybe they talking about some Xbox Live. You know how Microsoft. There were more hours spent on the Xbox.
Hey, there was more people eating sandwiches while playing Xbox than on any other console, so they got that going for them.
Woo-woo. And tomorrow, guess what? We are getting a huge fucking announcement, man.
Another controller.
We are getting a controller.
Yeah, full.
Hell yeah, we're getting a controller with some kind of design on it, right?
I got it now.
We're getting a BGST.
Yeah, I got it.
Shit brown controller.
Yeah,
Hey, introducing the new shit brown controller.
Yeah,
no games.
New Scorpion. They should have released a Scorpion theme controller. That would have been fucking huge. But we're gonna get the hell up out of here.
It's making sense now, I'll tell you. That's the problem.
Xbox One Prime, roll out. Remember that.
Thank you guys for watching. We had over 40 people today. Hit the like button. We appreciate it, man. Cool.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for rocking out.